While this channel is going to talk mainly about photography and videography, I think there are a few things that associate similarly that you can use to be very successful in the photography and videography business. So the one skill I'm going to talk about today is sales. Obviously, if you're doing a business, you need to make sure you're actually making money. And I found a few things and a few different things throughout my experiences that will help just make maybe your life a little bit easier and might even help sell your services or your products a little bit more. One of the first big ones is actively listening to what the person's talking about. Especially if you're on call with them, like you're trying to sell to a couple who wants you to cover their wedding, then you should actively listen to them. Even if it's a product, same thing. You are trying to listen to like comments, or maybe you're on forums and you're seeing things that people are saying like, okay, this tripod has this feature that is not good and that has this feature that's really good. These things are going to be actively listening, or in my opinion, actively searching around to find what are the pain points, what are the things that people are talking about that they want solved. Because clearly if someone's coming to you to purchase a service or product, they're trying to find a solution to that problem. Now, the next thing is communication. With communication, obviously, I've talked about this in some other videos and I've got more in depth in those videos, but in a nutshell, communication, you need to actually talk to them well. So this means, like I said before, actively listening, but also talking to them in a nice way, learning what is the right stuff to say and what's the wrong stuff to say, even the tonality, even the way you just present yourself in terms of actually talking is absolutely important. I have done ones where I'm, in a casual shirt like this, or I've done ones where I'm in a more formal setting and I have to dress up a little bit. I've done plenty of these things where you have to talk to people and you have to kind of figure out what they want. And doing so helps just sell your services even more. Think about it this way. Most likely the way that these call centers and these people on phone lines sell things is by really using these skills to help sell to people more. And that's through just learning how to talk and how to do all this over the phone. They don't usually have a way to communicate face to face or in person. It's usually all over audio, and that's all they have to talk about. And that's all they have to communicate with other people. One other great thing is, while you talk to these people, if you could also find a way to relate to them, like even if you say a small story or you tell them a way that you can empathize with them. So maybe let's just say, for argument's sake, that someone had a service where it didn't go well and they are flustered with that. They don't want to go hire someone else similarly, and they're very, and they may be very against going and purchasing services from another photographer because that photographer really sucked. But there's ways to go about it where you can say, this is my process, this is how I do it, and I can promise this type of output, or I can show you this type of output that you can get if you hire me. These things will help you as well, and that just helps them empathize and also more so see exactly what they are wanting to get from you and what they are inquiring about. That just helps you build your credibility as well and helps you become more of a star in their eyes, and they're more likely to want to hear more if you are able to also relate to them in that way as well. One great other one that I've used to help get both large and small projects is negotiation. Negotiation, obviously, it'll go from wherever in this whole process I'm talking about. This process was kind of a little bit in order and out of order, so just use these as you see fit. But negotiation is going to be like, okay, let's say a couple wants to get the highest price product and they want to get a little bit more for their money. Then maybe they say, okay, can we get 50 more photos and maybe lower the video length or something like that? And then you say, sure, I can do that. And then I'm going to lower the revisions because there's more work involved. These negotiations will help say that, okay, they are being listened to, but also you are communicating that there's a lot of work that goes into it and how much time and effort that goes into it. They're obviously able to empathize with you, and also in general, it just makes it so it's fair to everyone. And when people feel like they're being taken advantage of, at least in my opinion, they are not going to likely buy from you. If you feel like you are being taken advantage of, same thing. You're not going to want to do work for them. So if you're able to kind of make it so it's fair for both yourself and them, they're more and more likely to actually want to purchase with you and potentially even do further business with you because you are easy to deal with and not everything is super set in stone. There are times for that, but obviously, especially if someone's treating you very nicely, I think it's okay to negotiate a bit because they are able to potentially give you a good review. They're able to give you things down the road, even if it's free stuff like, reviews or referrals. These things will be invaluable, and I think it's worth it to do that. So these are a few things in sales that or at least coincide with sales that I think it's absolutely worth it. There's obviously videos that will tell you more in depth with this, either on my channel or other people's channel. But these are some things that I think that are going to be extremely useful to sell your photography and videography or any digital media services, or pretty much anything actually. I still continue to use them to these days just to keep building on, but also to use to sell services and to make sure that people know who I am. So that being said, I really hope you enjoyed this video. If you want to see another cool one, be sure to look at this one over here or check out the channel right over here. If you want to see me on social media, be sure to look somewhere on the screen. It'll be somewhere. And I really hope you enjoyed this video. Hope to see you next video. Thanks for watching. Peace.